explain a little bit about what high-pressure laminate is. Basically, this is constructed just like a high-end Martin guitar, but this is actually a photograph of rosewood rather than a piece of wood. It's, the composite material resonates very well. You can see koa, mahogany, rosewood. These particular guitars, this is our new gloss top model. We've been doing them with solid spruce tops for a while now, but this just introduced that Anaheim NAMM.
That's a beautiful guitar.
Is kind of combines our 16 series gloss top with the X series. An aluminum top. That's one of the other alternative materials that Chris Martin had developed. Real proactive with finding new resources to build guitars with, knowing that, well, Brazilian's out of the picture for the most part. Mahogany is getting more and more rare and expensive, and the tone woods that we're using right now may not be available to us 50 years from now. So, and the other cool thing about the laminate material is that being that it's a photograph, you can use images and different color patterns. So you can create things like this, the Cowboy Series guitar.
So you're able to put any image on top of a guitar at this point.
Exactly, right. This is our new sound room, an R&D string area. Working with Fishman, obviously, on everything we use. A lot of new products testing goes on in here. It used to be literally that we sat around a room and picked new guitars and just kind of wrote down what we thought the tonal qualities were. Now we supplement that with graphing them, analyzing the wave, that sort of thing, really looking at the differences in tone between different types of woods and how different strings affect the same guitar. Here are some images, an inside look into what's behind this wall, which is the robotic sprayer. This has applied the lacquer, and that is an arm very similar to the polishing arm that applies the lacquer to each surface. They come through on a conveyor system which can be seen through this window, as well as an infrared oven that sort of flashes and helps to speed up the dry time. Just so we don't pass it by. This is the area where all the guitars have been strung and are awaiting what we call the 8-day hold, where after string tension is applied to the tops for the first time, we'll put them away for 8 days, bring them back out, and then that the top and the neck has moved and reacted to the tension, we'll readjust it to the right spec, right heights, and off they go. This is again the pre-finished department. We kind of walked through on the other side and saw the staining and filling process. These are guitar necks that are entering into that process. They've been prepped. You can see here that the fingerboards have been taped so that no lacquer gets onto the already finished ebony boards and frets. Here we have some necks that have gone through one staining and are entering into the filling process. So these have been stained but have not yet been filled and packed with wood filler. This I can identify as one of our new cherry necks from the sustainable guitars. The area and suit required to do the job of filling, which basically involves painting wood filler onto a buffer and then oscillating the buffer at a high speed, pushing into the neck, which obviously creates some overspray. Kurt will paint that on, and then it needs a little time to haze over before he does the buffing process. So he'll do a few at a time. Here. This is the pearl inlay department. We have a pearl inlay artist in the custom shop that works exclusively on customs and one-of-a-kind inlays. His name is Tracy Cox. This is the pearl inlay department that deals with the bordering of the 45 series and the 40 series, and many rosettes actually that contain abalone pearl. This is a D100 in process, Brazilian rosewood dreadnought. It commemorates the 1 millionth serial number. This is a production model, not exact replica, but inspired from the artwork of Larry Robinson's 1 millionth serial number, which we'll see in the museum shortly. And this represents the most expensive guitar in our line currently. Retails for $109,000.
Insane, man.
It's a combination actually of metals and pearl and MOP. And in the millionth guitar, there are actually half a dozen different types of gemstones that are set into the back. Okay, so we're entering into the final steps of the process here. We're putting on tuning machines, preparing the necks to be joined to the bodies, cleaning the fingerboards from any excess finish that may have seeped under the tape. Here are the guitars. The necks have been fit to the bodies. We are preparing to route out the finish where the bridge will be applied. The two kind of final assembly parts of the process before the strings are put on and the guitar is actually played. Here we are at the final assembly area, the stringing area as it's known, and these folks are, we can come in a little bit. These folks are stringing up the guitars. How you doing, Tom? Stringing up the guitars for the first time, checking the entire instrument inside and out for any quality issue that may be noticed at this point. Bringing the guitar to life for the first time, playing every string, every fret, jamming on it a little bit, just making sure everything's cool, and then puts it into the warehouse for that 8-day hold. Also, all of the electronics for the models that do get stock pickups are installed here. You can see Paul putting a side-mounted Fishman unit in over there now. Now we're overlooking the machine room again. These are the parts manufacturing part of the process. A little bit better look at the routers that slot the fingerboards for frets, cut the necks into shape, and just beyond there, the braces are shaped with routers and CAD programming. Okay, well, thanks a lot for coming by Martin Factory to see how a Martin's made. It's been a real pleasure to have you here, and that's about it in a nutshell.